Welcome back to Heavenbreaker System, Chapter 3, The Patch Hunters, Part 1. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Arthur C. Clarke. The first warning came in the form of a dream. Zeng Wei was standing in the middle of his old office at NetRealm, the air filled with the soft hum of overworked machines. The blinds were half drawn, slicing sunlight into narrow, golden bars. Xu Ling sat at her desk across from him, her face hidden behind the bright white glow of a monitor. "You shouldn't be here," she said without looking up. "I could say the same," Zeng replied. His own voice sounded strange, too even, like a recording of himself played back through a filter. She turned, and he saw that her eyes weren't eyes at all. They were lines of code, scrolling vertically like rain. "You broke it again," she said softly. "You never could leave the system alone." "Ling," he said. "Tell me what's happening." But she didn't answer. The office lights flickered once, twice, and the world began to dissolve. The air pixelated into gray particles, the sound of typing became static. When he looked down, his hands were breaking apart too, code threads unraveling from his skin. He woke with a shout. His heart was hammering. His skin was slick with cold sweat. For a moment he didn't recognize the small hut around him, the low wooden beams, the smell of smoke and rice straw. Then memory settled back into place. Tianling village. The valley. The beast. Yun. The shrine. He rubbed his face and sat up. The sky outside was pale and uncertain, dawn, or something pretending to be it. A soft tapping came at the door. "Zeng?" Yun's voice, cautious. He exhaled. "Yeah. Come in." She stepped inside, holding a bowl of porridge and a pot of steaming tea. Her hair was still damp from washing, dark strands clinging to her neck. "You were shouting," she said. "In your sleep." "Bad dream," he said. "Good porridge." She raised an eyebrow. "You haven't tasted it yet." "I have faith." She set the bowl down. "Madame Shen says the sky was strange again last night." He paused with the spoon halfway to his mouth. "Strange how?" "The stars flickered," she said. "Like lamps about to go out. And some of the children saw lights moving through the forest, bright as lanterns, but they left no smoke, no sound." He felt the back of his neck tighten. "Lights that don't make sound," he murmured. "Never a good sign. You think it's another spirit?" He hesitated. "Something like that." By mid-morning, the village was restless. Farmers whispered of strange patterns burned into the rice fields, circles too perfect to be made by tools. The animals were uneasy, even the dogs refused to go near the forest's edge. Zeng walked the perimeter with Yun, eyes scanning the trees. "If this were my code," he muttered, "this would be the part where the environment starts self-correcting." "Meaning?" "Meaning something's trying to clean up my mess." A faint hum rose from somewhere in the distance, a tone just below hearing, like the vibration of glass. The air shimmered faintly. Yun looked around. "Do you hear that?" He nodded slowly. "Yeah. And I really wish I didn't." A line of light split the air 30 meters away, vertical and exact, like someone drawing a cut through reality itself. It widened into a crack, humming louder. From within, shapes began to emerge, slender figures of silver and white, their outlines shifting like heat mirages. "Stay behind me," Zeng said. 3 figures stepped through. They were tall, almost elegant, with faces hidden behind smooth masks of mirrored glass. Their bodies were threaded with pale gold lines that pulsed in rhythm with the hum. They didn't walk so much as glide, each movement precise to the millimeter. The lead figure spoke, its voice a calm blend of male and female tones. "Unauthorized construct detected. System anomaly designation, Zeng Wei. Confirm presence." Zeng stared. "Oh, great. Tech support." Yun's hand tightened around her staff. "What are they?" "Automated maintenance subroutines," he said grimly. "Or, in human terms, enforcers. The Heaven Patch sent them." "Sent them? For what?" "To delete me." The lead figure tilted its head, as if hearing something only it could detect. "Containment protocol initiating." Light gathered around their hands, lines of geometry forming weapons that looked half like swords, half like data streams. Zeng raised both hands. "Okay, let's be reasonable. I'm still under warranty." The first strike came like lightning. The ground where he'd been standing exploded in a burst of white light. He rolled aside, grabbing Yun's arm. Run. They sprinted through the fields as beams of energy sliced the air behind them. The rice plants hissed and caught fire, dissolving into pixels before vanishing completely. Yun shouted, "Can't you stop them?" "I'm trying." He reached for his console, mind racing. The interface flickered into view, unstable, glitching from the proximity of the hunters. He typed in thought, /override authority, Zeng Wei access denied. Figures. They reached the old bell tower. Inside, he said. They dove through the door as another blast tore through the wall. The bell swayed, groaning. Yun pressed against the wooden beam, breathing hard. Now what? Now I improvise. He opened the console again, searching. Every process was locked down except one, the stability index. He hesitated. You know that thing you're not supposed to touch in a nuclear reactor? Yun blinked. No. Good. He reached into the line of code with his mind and pushed. For a second, the world held its breath. Then the ground rippled outward from the bell tower like a shockwave. The hunters staggered, their clean geometry distorting, faces warping like reflections on broken glass. The sky above them flickered between blue and static. Yun shouted something, but her voice was lost in the roar. Zeng felt energy surge through him, electric, blinding, addictive. He could see the underlying code of everything around him, the air, the walls, even Yun, rendered in shimmering threads of light. He raised his hand. End process. The nearest hunter froze mid-step, then shattered into fragments of code that scattered like glass dust. The others faltered. Yun stared in awe. You destroyed it. He laughed breathlessly. Yeah, but I also just punched a hole in heaven. The sky above them split again, not a clean crack this time, but a sprawling web of fractures spreading outward from a single point. Streams of white light bled through, painting the valley in unholy dawn. A deep voice echoed across the air. System breach detected. The remaining two hunters straightened, their voices merging into one. Containment impossible. Escalating. Their bodies began to dissolve, merging into a single form, taller, darker, threads of fire coiling beneath the metallic surface. Its new voice was low and resonant. Zeng Wei. Your existence is a virus. He stared up at it, jaw tight. You're not wrong. Termination required. He smiled grimly. Get in line. He grabbed Yun's wrist. We can't fight this here. Too many people. She nodded once, trusting without question. Where? The mountains. North Ridge. They ran. Behind them, the fused hunter raised a hand. The air rippled. The bell tower imploded silently, collapsing into a column of white particles. The wave followed them like a storm. They reached the ridge just as the first trees began to disintegrate behind them. Zeng turned, panting, as the giant figure advanced, each step rewriting the ground it touched. He opened his console again, desperate. One line blinked red, root fragment detected, shrine of origins. The ruin. He turned to Yun. The shrine, there's something there that can stop this. We have to go back. Her eyes widened. You said that place was dangerous. It's also connected. If I can tap the fragment directly, maybe I can override the patch. You sound like you know what you're doing. He smiled crookedly. That's the spirit of optimism keeping us alive. They raced downhill, the air behind them tearing like fabric. When they reached the shrine clearing, the old stone pillars were already glowing, symbols flaring bright white. The same voice echoed again. Return to source. Zeng stepped forward. Fine. Let's talk. He placed both hands on the central pillar. The symbols reacted instantly, wrapping around his arms like bands of light. The hunter's merged form strode into the clearing, raising its blade of living code. Yun shouted, Zeng. He didn't move. I've got this. Probably. Probably? He focused. /root override, initialize. The pillar shuddered. The ground split. Streams of energy shot skyward, connecting with the fractured sky. The hunter paused, sensing the change. Then, for the first time, the system hesitated. Override accepted. Root admin access granted, limited. Time remaining, 300 seconds. Oh, hell yes. He turned toward the towering figure. Hey, Patch Boy, guess who just got promoted? The creature lunged. Zeng lifted one hand, fingers spread, and the world itself bent. For 5 surreal seconds, everything in the clearing hung between motion and command. The merged hunter's blade, a crescent of weaponized light, hovered mid-swing inches from Zeng Wei's face. Rain that wasn't rain glimmered in the air, each suspended droplet made of code, not water. Dust from the shattered stone had frozen like a constellation around them. Yun stood at the edge of the shrine, one hand outstretched toward him, hair whipping in a wind that was no longer moving. Time itself hadn't stopped. He had placed himself one layer deeper than time. The root override wasn't clean. It wasn't a button. It was authority. A chair no one living was supposed to sit in. He sat anyway. Zeng exhaled, slowly. Okay, he said aloud, half to the system and half to himself. We are going to do this calmly, like adults. White script spiraled in his vision. Root access, limited, active. Priority channel open. Warning, reality integrity minus 4.2%, minus 4.4%, minus 4.9%. He winced. That's not ominous at all. Across from him, the hunter twitched in slow, jagged frames, trying to complete its strike. Up close he could finally see its face. It wasn't a face at all. Beneath the silver plates, behind the mirrored mask, lay a shifting web threads of light woven tight, braided like nerves. Lines crossed and recrossed in dense arrays. He'd seen something like it once before, in a neural preview model Xu Ling had built to simulate emergent decision-making. Not scripted AI, but adaptive. Learning. Hungry. Interesting, he murmured. So you're not just an enforcer. You're a collector. The hunter's jaw, or the region where a jaw might be, cracked open, emitting a grinding shriek. Zeng Wei, it howled, voice distorted, layers out of sync. Illegal process. Return. 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 And you, he said evenly, are in violation of every ethical standard the studio ever pretended to have, which is honestly impressive. He flicked his hand, and reality obliged. The hunter slammed backwards as if struck by an invisible wall, skidding across the shrine's cracked stone. The pillars shook. More symbols lit up, bathing the clearing in pale blue fire. Yun gasped. She hadn't moved from where he'd told her to stay, but her eyes were wide, reflecting the torrent of light. Zeng. I'm okay, he called back. Don't come closer. Is it working? Define working. The hunter reoriented itself and lunged again. This time its form was less humanoid, arms lengthening into spears of hard light, torso elongating, posture more like a predatory insect or a deep-sea creature than anything human. It moved badly in frozen time, like a corrupted animation clip struggling to interpolate between frames. That made it worse. Corruption meant instability. Instability meant spillover. Spillover meant Tianling village, and everyone still sleeping there, was at risk. You can't fight this in place, some still rational corner of his mind said. You have to redirect it. You have to pull it off the grid. He drew in a steadying breath. Ling, he whispered, low, to the pulsing code in the shrine stone. If you're still in there, I need a channel. For an instant, nothing. Then, faintly, letters formed along his forearms, curling like soft light against his skin. You are burning the floor you stand on. His throat tightened. Xu Ling's phrasing. Dry, efficient, scolding even now. Yeah, he said softly. Sounds like me. You cannot hold root. The patch will escalate. If IT classifies you as a persistent threat, IT will authorize a full rollback. He swore, quiet and vicious. Full rollback. That wasn't just deleting him. Rollback meant restoring the whole region, map, NPCs, structures, everything, to a known stable state. It meant erasing Tianling village and every soul in it like they had never existed. No, he breathed. No. We are not doing that. The hunter struck again. This time it didn't aim for him. It turned its blade downward, into the earth. The shock hit like a drumbeat against bone. The ground convulsed. Jagged ripple tore through the clearing and rolled outward toward the village like a wave gouging earth as it went. Where it passed, topsoil didn't break, it disintegrated into white static, then respawned behind the wave, newly smooth, like the world was being painted over in real time. Rollback test. It's trying to prove it can override us. Panic flared in him, sharp and cold. Yun, he shouted. Run back to the village. Get everyone away from the fields, Get them to the higher houses by the bell tower, now. She didn't ask questions. She bolted. The sight of her running broke something open inside him. This is not code anymore. This is not QA. These are people. He turned back to the hunter. Okay, he said quietly. You wanted me. You can have me. He lifted both arms, palms out. Override, target lock. Isolate process, Zeng Wei. The world reacted like a muscle. End of chapter 3, part 1.